Friends, welcome to this Mega Master Course, Manifestation Decoded, the secret behind the secret on this wonderful 6th day. Today we have the food you can eat can be either the most powerful form of medicine or the slowest form of poison. We have 3 brains, the head, the heart, and the gut. Anything that affects the gut definitely affects the brain. Your immune system is mostly in your gut. The road to health is paved with good intestines, and health is the biggest wealth. That's all we have taught since we were children, that health is wealth. So today, our little Master Shreans Daga will explain us on this topic. And again, I think he'll be as impactful as ever. Thank you so much and welcome all again. Thank you.
Thank you, Rajshri. Thank you. I always love the way you start. It's amazing. Thank you. And thank you all, friends. Thank you so much for joining back. Thank you for coming back. I hope you had a good meditation. And though it was a short one comparatively. So, but again, it's my pleasure and privilege that you all are here. And thank you for the gift of your time, gift of your attention. Friends, today we are going to cover a very important topic, which is something which we live in day in and day out, about food. And as we go along, we'll understand why this topic is so important to cover. And the reason I'm covering all these topics before we go into manifestation is because we are not living a life like a saint or somebody who is, or a monk who is living in some monastery or some or Himalayas and just living an absolutely pure life, disconnected and of thoughtlessness and in their own journey. We are living a normal life in a day-to-day situation, into day-to-day life, having all types of challenges, having all types of real life problems, having going out, eating out, going to restaurants, going to so we are living a very normal life, and that is a part of our society now as a social culture. We can't be alienated from that. But the idea is how to live that life with awareness. And once we understand all these things, they are all correlated. And that's when the manifestation becomes powerful. So let me share with you a small video. This is by Dr. Bruce Lipton. Dr. Bruce Lipton is the father of epigenetics. I had covered epigenetics topic in 2 sessions back, where how our genes, where we were taught that our genes control our life or our disease is hereditary. But the truth is how we have the power to give expression to the genes. And whether the genes turn into the disease or not from our parents, it is depends on us, how we give expression to that through our thoughts, emotions, through our food, through the choices of food, which is quite important. And so today I'm going to cover the topic on food, and which will make us know that we are not the victim of our genes. Our DNA is not our destiny. So let me share this video and then I'll explain this further. This is by Dr. Bruce Lipton.
Welcome to the bowels of my laboratory. Today, I got a great story for you. Many times science is just about minutiae details that are totally uninteresting to the general public. But I have an article today that is going to change the world. And it's about a new understanding of what is called microRNAs. Okay, now don't go away yet. It's not that serious. Let me just tell you about it. Here's what it's all about. Once, a long time ago, we thought that genes control life. And then there new research that information that I was pioneering over 45 years ago, my stem cell cultures, have now revealed a new science of genetics called epigenetics, which simply means epi above, genetics above genetics, information and control above genetics. We find that the environment is translated by the cell, and that environmental information is then used to select and activate the genes. So this is really cool, and this is epigenetics, and yet we find out, well, what is it that actually alters the readout of the genes? Well, that's where the microRNAs come in. Now we find that the microRNAs are actually epigenetic mechanisms. The microRNAs bind to the chromosomes and alter the readout of the genes, so that a single gene program can be modified to create thousands of different kinds of proteins from the same blueprint based on this epigenetic modification. For the longest time, we thought if we just eat food, our digestive system breaks down that food, and the cooking will break down living things, or freezing and all that will neutralize all the aspects of the food so that we can use just food as building blocks. However, something new was found, and this is about the microRNA. It turns out that the microRNA molecules in the food we eat is picked up by our digestive system and transferred to our own cells and regulates our own genetics. So all of a sudden, the concept of what you eat, you become, actually has a scientific foundation to it. It says that we alter our own genetic readout by the food we eat. This study by Valchereau and Choupeau, we're studying the uptake of microRNAs from rice in diets of an Asian diet. And what they found was that the microRNAs were not broken down in the digestive system. They were picked up intact from the food, transported across the wall of the gut, and then they enter the blood of our biology, our body. Well, this becomes really, really relevant in a world where we are now playing with genetically modified foods, because we're going to be picking up epigenetic microRNAs that we have no knowledge about, that have never really been in our diet or on our planet before. What is the consequence of altering our genetics with unknown microRNAs? Well, we're soon going to find out about that. And here's a very important point about the microRNAs. No matter if you cook the food, you freeze the food, the microRNAs are very small molecules and very stable. And these molecules don't break down, so that you always are getting active genetic regulating molecules from the food you eat. Good idea now to think about, what are you eating? And the whole concept really says, for the better world and the better of humanity and the better health for yourself, we must return back to more natural foods, eating organic foods whenever possible, eating foods that are not grown in petrochemical environments, because those chemical informations from the petrochemicals alter the genetic readout, which in turn alters the microRNAs. The food you eat has a profound influence on your biology, your genetics, and your health. And now we find that this is not just an idea like, oh, I really think that happens. Now it's a scientific fact. We know that information molecules from food are picked up by our digestive system, and those molecules enter our bloodstream and then subsequently affect our genetics. With that awareness, think before you eat. Eat carefully. Take care of yourself. Return to the more natural foods, because this is the food that created humanity and the health that we all aspire to. Thank you.
So what he says is the microRNAs. So our food has the microRNAs are the information molecules of the food. And no matter whether we break down the food, whether we cook it, whether we freeze it, the microRNAs are always there. And these information molecules, this food is being digested by our digestive system, and then it is pushed, and then it turns into and it converts the food, and then it is pushed into the enzymes. But these microRNAs are also pushed into the into our bloodstream, convert and pushed into the bloodstream, and these microRNAs are pushed into the bloodstream, and which then binds with the chromosomes of our DNA and give genetic expression to our DNA. So the microRNAs are so important, and this is the information molecule. And that's why the food, now we have the concept now the science has proven that the food we eat, our foods create our moods. Our food, jaisa in Indian tradition, we always say that jaisa an vaisa man. As you eat, so are your emotional state, so is your mental state. So, so that's why Hippocrates said, let food be thy medicine and medicine be thy food. Hippocrates was the father of modern medicine. He was the Greek founder of Western medicine. And he said that it is important to know what sort of person has a disease, then to know what sort of the disease the person has. So rather than focusing on the disease of that person, focus on that person and know that person, what kind of a person he is, and then analyze his disease. Again, I repeat, he said it is important to know what sort of a person has the disease, then to know what sort of disease the person has. So that's why the whole science of the food and how food creates moods, and going forward, I'm also going to cover how our gut, the microbiomes in the gut influences our mood, influences our brain, so influences our emotional state a little more in detail. So today, now I'm going to show you another video, which is on animal-based diet. Again, it's a 2-minute video, not very pleasant to watch, but I would like you to watch, and I'm not going to judge anyone. I mean, it's just that I want to cover it from a very scientific perspective. And the idea to cover is so that we become more aware. Eventually, what you do with this is your choice, but it's just that it makes you more aware of your food choices. And as Bruce Lipton said, go back to the natural diet, go back to the plant-based diet, go back to organic food, the food which is not the vegetables which are not grown in petrochemical environments or with lot of chemicals and pesticides. So go back to those natural environments and eat plant-based food. So let me share a small video. And while watching this video, I want you to be aware, this is how the animals are being farmed. And it's funny that we use the language farm because we think the animals are also a commodity. We don't even think that they are the live beings. So let me share this video. And while you're watching this video, I want you to think in your mind or be aware in your mind, what are the emotions these animals are going through when they are being farmed so that they can be available on our plate, on a table. So just think of the emotions they are going through.
Animal equalities investigators have infiltrated hatcheries to show you a reality that the chicken meat industry doesn't want you to see. The first day of baby chicks in the meat industry is a nightmare. Many eggs don't even hatch. Minutes after being born, thousands of defenseless baby chicks are thrown onto the belts that will separate them from the shell. For those who are still on the conveyor belts, the terrifying journey continues. Workers separate and throw the weak ones and those who don't meet the desired standards away to the trash. They are thrown into crates that workers pile one on top of another before being loaded onto trucks that will transport them to fattening farms. When they are about 40 days old, they are sent to the slaughterhouse.
Confined to tiny stalls that don't even allow mother pigs to turn around for most of their pregnancy, the first time that these animals will breathe fresh air is when they are on the back of a truck headed for the slaughterhouse. Many will go insane from the complete lack of stimulation. Shortly after birth, baby pigs have their ears mutilated. the ends of their teeth chopped off, their tails cut off, and they are also castrated, all without any painkillers. Pigs who aren't growing quickly enough, called fall-behinds, are killed by being slammed headfirst against the concrete floor. Moving pigs by beating them with gate rods is one of the more common forms of abuse. After being electrically prodded and forced onto the killing floor, improper stunning causes pigs to endure having their throats slit while they are still awake.
Excuse me for showing this. Sorry about it. But I want to ask you, what are the emotions you think that they went through while they were being farmed? So as you watch, what did you feel? So I want you to write on the chat: fear, pain, extreme pain, intense pain, agony, helplessness, misery, suffocation, not feeling good, trauma, scare, heinousness, suffocated, crying, rejection, terrified, anger, frustration, trapped, suffering, hatred, barbaric, brutal. So all sorts, whatever we can think about. Yeah. Yes. So thank you. So friends, these are emotion molecules. So these when they go through these emotions, now we know that our body is a memory bank of all these emotions, right? So they store these emotions in their body, and that's how they vacate the body. That's how they die, right? And this is the food that we bring it on our table. And when these foods have its own energy, it is, and especially now the research shows that it is a microRNA, which are the energy molecules, which are the information molecules, and the same information molecule it is being transported through our mouth to our gut, and then it is digested by our gut, and these microRNAs are pushed into our bloodstream, then again which binds to our chromosomes and then give expression to our genes. So it is no more just about a myth or a fad. It is a scientific evidence how the food you eat has a impact on your thoughts and emotions. And that does not mean that if you eat this food, you are a bad person or you are going to have these emotions. But it's just that you're given expression to your genes, so you're more prone to express these emotions. Any small trigger in the environment or in the outside conditions, you will express these emotions. You'll express, and you'll wonder why I'm feeling sad, why I'm feeling upset, why I'm feeling angry, why I'm feeling this intense hatred, or for a small trigger. But in fact, a lot of times, the food we eat has a direct impact on our emotional state. So it is said that Thomas Edison, again, one of the greatest scientists in US, who said that the doctor of the future will no longer treat the human race with drugs, but rather will cure and prevent disease with nutrition. So nutrition, and as Hippocrates said, let food be thy medicine and medicine by thy food. So do you think the food what you're eating is really your medicine? And or it is a slow poison? So it is a choice that we have to take, and nature has its own way of teaching. We know, we still know that the theories about Wuhan virus, that it came from animals and eating those animals. So we don't know, but there's just there's so many conspiracy theories, but we don't know. But a lot of disease can come from the food we eat. And then now research, it's well-known research about red meat. They clearly say the red meat is no more good for the health. So yeah, you can go to the next slide. So I'm going to read from the Essene Gospel of Peace. This was said by Jesus Christ, the Jesus of Nazareth, popularly known as Jesus Christ. He said that which kills your food also, that which kills your food kills also your body. That which gives life to your food gives also life to your body. Therefore, eat only that which gives life to your body. Another quote by Hippocrates said that illnesses do not come upon us out of the blue. They are developed from small daily sins against nature. When enough sins have accumulated, illnesses will suddenly disappear. This will suddenly appear. Again, I'll repeat. Illnesses do not come upon us out of the blue. They are developed from small daily sins against nature. When enough sins have accumulated, illnesses will suddenly appear. And this is Hippocrates. He was the father of modern Western medicine. He was the one who, as a Greek philosopher and a Greek scientist, who developed Western medicine thousands of years back. So, and this is what he says. So, friends, it's a choice that we have to make. It's a choice. It's a conscious choice we can make, and make your food your friend or your enemy. And when we talk about manifestation, we know that what we feel about is what we bring about. So if whatever you may do, whatever you may visualize, whatever hard work you do, but if you're not feeling right, you're not able to manifest things in your life. So that's why, and food has a direct influence on how we think and how we feel. And that's why it's a conscious choice we have to make. And here I'm not really even going onto the ethical grounds or the environmental grounds. It is what you are doing to your body, what you are doing to your emotional state. So just be aware and make the right choice. Having said that, I honestly have no judgments about people eating animal-based diet or plant-based diet. It's your personal choice, and I respect that choice, whatever your choice is. But having said that, I want to just bring the scientific discoveries so that you just become more conscious about your food choice. So again, I repeat, as Hippocrates said, let food be thy medicine and medicine be thy food. I also happen. So also there's a again. So friends, if your food is right, then they say that if your food is right, medicine is of no need. If your food is right, medicine is of no need. If the food is wrong, medicine is of no use. Again, I repeat, if the food is right, medicine is of no need. If the food is wrong, medicine is of no use. So that's how important our food is. Day in and day out, we eat and eat and eat. So, and which is a direct impact on your emotional health. I was doing a workshop with Abraham Hicks. This October, I attended her workshop. We were on a cruise, and so the way the workshop works is they call everyone Abraham Hicks. If you raise your hand, she'll pick one of you and call on the stage, and you can ask a question or any doubt, and she gives you the answer. Abraham Hicks is a group of consciousness which is channeled by an entity called Esther Hicks. She has a famous book, Ask and It Is Given. She's one of the foremost person on the topic of law of attraction and manifestation. So I asked her a question about not her. Her is the physical body, but the group of consciousness, Ibrahim, about the choice of food and about plant-based diet and animal-based diet. And let's see what she answers. I'll play this video.
It's a lot of trouble in this room. Seems like right here. Yeah.
Thank you. So blessed to be here.
Yes.
Thank you. So somebody had a question about water. So my question is about food. Coming from India in a very traditional religious background, my belief was always about vegetarian food, and I always judged people who were not based on plant-based diet. And then I got into spirituality. Again, the spiritual teachers were all about vegetarianism. But last 3 years, I have dropped my judgment, but I still want to know what source things or what Abraham's view on the diet and the food.
Well, the most important thing to understand is that your inner being knows that your body is intelligent. We want to approach this subject in a very logical way to begin with. We've been talking about the path of least resistance. So isn't it logical that early trending about food had to do with what was available then? And humans, because so often you defend what you've got going on, then want to protect what you've been doing by then acknowledging that it's the right way to go. In other words, food is another subject where humans, for the most part, do not allow themselves the lightness and the freedom to follow a path of lesser and lesser resistance. And so we would like to just present it to you in an easy way, most not ready to hear it, that says, follow your own cravings. But then we want to clarify, if you are a person who is mostly on the upper half of the emotional scale, then it's a good idea to follow your cravings about all things, about where to go, about who to hang around with, about what to read, and about what to do, and about what to eat. But if you are on the lower half of the emotional scale, then your guidance is not quite so clear. And so this subject, like every subject, we just have to say, get yourself into a place where you know for sure that you're trending and feeling good, and then just follow your impulses. And don't try so hard to follow the trends or the fashions of the world relative to anything. It would be really helpful to each of you if you could accept your body as intelligent and knowing what it wants and knowing what's good for it and knowing where to get it. There are components in different combinings of food. In other words, sometimes you have cravings for combinations of food because the combinations of the food produces something beneficial that your body at this particular moment in time wants. So how would anyone guide their body, guide their nutrition, really guide anything from a book that has been written? Why would you not want to just use your in-the-moment guidance that is coming forth from within? So that's really what we are encouraging. Most people are guiding their food intake more from their awareness of what they don't want than from their awareness of what they do want. And most people do not have a clear understanding of how anything is really affecting them in terms of what they're eating, because it isn't what they're eating that is having the most dominant effect. When we say, and are you refreshed? We're talking about a refreshment of non-physical energy that reaches every cell in your body if you allow it to do so. And so we're just going to put this subject on the back burner for a little while and just encourage all of you, more in general terms, to make decisions about what you want, how you want to feel, how you want to be, how you want your body to feel in terms of energy, how you want your body to feel in terms of flexibility, how you want your body to feel in terms of agility, how you want your body to feel in terms of consciousness, how active you want to allow the cells of your body to talk with one another. There is not a subject that is more to the point of the ever-changing path of least resistance for a human than the subject of food intake, really. You know how you have mood swings and you know how you have highs and lows? If you could eat an inspired diet,
Yes.
an inspired diet, not a popular diet, not a fashionable diet. If you could eat an inspired diet, and we promise you, your inner being is going to inspire you from what's available now. From what's available now. We're talking about what's available in your country, what's available in your food supply, what's available in your pantry.
Right.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Helpful?
Thank you.
Not really, but it is helpful. You're all going to have a lot of fun with that one.
That was wonderful, Shreans. It was so nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So as human beings, as she said, that initially as human beings, we were hunters and gatherers. And that time, there was no method of cooking food, or we were not into agriculture or farming, right? So we didn't know any other diet. But as that time, so that became a the diet became a popular diet at that time, and that carried on and on and on for generations. But today, when farming came, we had a choice of other diet. We had a choice of a better diet or a plant-based diet. But we continued the old diet because of our habitual patterns of human beings, and we carried those habits from generations and generations. And then we thought it to be so normal because we didn't even realize that, oh, there's something to even think about it, right? It's like something which you carry on for years and years. You don't even think about it. You think it's so normal. It's conditioned in our brain. It's conditioned in our society, and it becomes a norm. So we don't even think about it. So that's why she says about inspired diet. Think about whether the food, how is it making you feel, and how is it? And now we know that food has a direct impact on our emotional state. So, and also she says about how it is whether we are thinking from the lower emotional state or a upper scale of the emotional state. So by that she means when you're talking about lower emotional scale is about when you are in a state of angry, sadness, guilt, shame, fear, misery, all those survival-based emotions or limited emotions. Upper scale is feeling love, feeling joyful, feeling happy, and all those in the upper scale. And I'm going to talk more about lower and upper scale in the later part of the workshops. So basically when you're in a positive emotions, or when you're in on a I would not say negative, but I would say low frequency emotions. All our emotions has frequency, energy, and vibration. So whether when you're vibrating at the lower emotional frequency, your food choice could be different. But when you change your vibration frequency, when you're vibrating at a higher emotional frequency, your food choice will be different. A lot of times, we crave for junk food, and the more lethargic, the more lazy we are, the more we crave for junk food. And we have seen that. But the more, suppose you are going to a gym or exercising or for a jog, you feel fit, you feel the agility, you feel the vitality, then you don't want to eat junk food, because there's no energy match with the system now. So it's a choice which you can make consciously. Now know the science, you can make a very conscious choice and decide what works for you. A lot of times we got into that vicious cycle. The food creates the mood which is not inspired, and that non-inspired mood or that lower vibrational mood again pushes you to crave for the similar kind of food, because that is a vibrational match. So it's a choice whether you want to break that pattern and make a better choice or a wiser choice. You have to decide what goes for your body. Our body, she also said, our body is an intelligent being. So being an intelligent being, our body knows, as I said, that microRNAs, Bruce Lipton said that how it attaches to our chromosomes and give expression to their genes. So it's an intelligent being, and it will behave depending on your food choice. And also she said there's no topic which is more important than our food. So it's a choice, friends, what we want to do with your food choice. I leave it to you. So thank you. Rashi, we can break for 5 minutes and we can go to the next topic, the food gut brain connection.
Yes, I also think this came.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Thank you.
Break for 3 minutes and we'll come
3
back.
minutes. Yeah, 3 minutes is okay.
So welcome back, friends. So now we'll go to the next topic. A very, very important topic, especially now in the last few years, it has become a very prominent topic of discussion. A lot of research has been done now, a lot of science which has come up with various researchers on a food-gut-brain connection. Also called, to talk about the gut-brain axis, the connection between our gut and the brain, how they both are so connected with each other. So they say our belly controls our brain. Foods create moods. Jaisa an vaisa man. So today topic I'm going to cover on gut microbiomes in the brain. So it may go a little scientific, little technical. So I need all your attention. But trust me, it's a very, very important topic, and this is the topic which will give you a lot of understanding about your health, which could be related to your gut. The challenge, the mystery which you're trying to resolve, or some issue may have a simple solution in your gut. So let me tell you what are gut microbiomes. So in our gut there are microbiomes. So these are the bacteria in our colon. So colon is the large intestine of our GI tract, or the gastrointestinal tract. So this is it. So this is the bacteria in our colon. So you can see the Keshav, can you share the image? Yeah. So this is also called microbiota or microbiomes. This term has become very popular now, your microbiomes in your gut. So that controls, so that's why it's now called that your belly controls your brain. So if you told someone 10 years back, so this is the colon in a gut. So I'm going to share more about it as we go along anyways. So if you told somebody 10 years back that what is in your gut could influence your brain or even lead to depression, we would have laughed at it, right? Because how can gut has an impact on your emotional state? But that idea that bacteria that live in your large intestine plays an important role in the health of your brain is now really a major focus of research and interest. And so much of research is being done now in last 10 years, and we are still continuing to research. And what we've seen the videos earlier, so all these have a lot of scientific evidence now. So these bacteria, the gut bacteria, these bacteria metabolites the food. Whatever food you eat is actually metabolized by these bacteria. So actually we are eating food for these bacteria first, and these bacteria who eat your food, the one you eat, and then metabolize this food, and then they convert it into nutrients and push it into the bloodstream. Again, I'll repeat, the food you eat is actually consumed by these bacteria, and then these bacteria metabolize the food and convert it into the nutrients and then push it into the bloodstream. So these bacteria play such an important role in converting that food, in digesting that food, and metabolize that food and convert it into nutrients. If the bacteria are not able to metabolize these foods, it's called leaky gut. That means your food is not being metabolized. And that's why your food, no matter how much you eat, it is not converting into nutrients. And that's why you may be obese, or you may have too much craving of food because you're not getting the required nutrients, and then you crave for more and more food. Right? So the very problem of eating more or eating junk food could be your leaky gut. So so again, I'll repeat, this is very basic concept as we go ahead. Whatever you eat is metabolized or is being digested by the bacteria in your gut. And these bacteria metabolize the food and convert it into the nutrients and push it into your bloodstream. If you don't have a healthy gut, if you don't have the healthy fauna of these bacteria, we need these bacteria to survive. And if you don't have these bacteria will not be able to digest your food and convert it into nutrients. And that is called leaky gut. Rashri, so far clear?
Yes, Shreans.
Yes.
All good. All good.
Anytime you want me to repeat or any doubt,
No.
interrupt me. Yeah.
It's quite clear. Yeah. Thank you.
So, we go to the next slide. So, let me tell you that yesterday we spoke about two brains in our body, right? The head and the heart. How our heart itself has like a head, which is a cranial brain. We have a heart which has 40,000 sensites in a brain, and it has and these sensites think independent of our brain, independent of our cranial brain. They can think, feel, and act independent of our cranial brain. So the heart is so the first brain is the head, which is in the head, which is the seat of logic and intellect. However, the unconscious mind directs around 90% of our behaviors. We know our unconscious, which is our body being the unconscious mind, directs 90% of the behavior from our head. Now, the second brain is our heart. There are more neural pathways running from the heart to the head than from the head to the heart. So it has a profound influence. Again, our heart has a profound influence on how you think and how you feel and on the choices you make. Now, the third brain is our gut. This is found that 90% of the body's serotonin. Serotonin is a neurotransmitter. It is involved in mood management, and that is what it makes anything that makes you go into a happy mood. And if not enough serotonin is produced, you feel sad. And the root cause of a depression chemically is not enough serotonin being produced. And if you can generate enough serotonin, you can heal depression. So 90% of the body's serotonin involved in the mood management is actually produced in the gut. Imagine 90% of a serotonin is produced in the gut. It is not produced in your brain, it is produced in your gut. So how important the gut has an influence on your moods. So healthy gut, healthy mind. So let me share with you a few facts about our gut. So we have 100. So we know in our body, we have 50 trillion cells in our body, right? I've mentioned this before. I've spoken a lot about it. We have 50 trillion cells in our body. However, we have 100 trillion microbial cells in our gut. Imagine the whole body is 50 trillion cells, but our gut, these microbiomes, these bacteria, we have 100 trillion microbial cells in our gut, which is double than the cells of our whole body. We have 9 million. I told you before, we have 24,000 genes, right? The human genes, we have 24,000 genes. But compared to 24,000 genes, we have 9 million genes in our gut, which is of these genes of these bacteria. 9 million. So that way we are more bacteria than human. So if you compare that 9 million genes with 24,000 human genes, our body, we are only 1% our DNA, 99% is our bacterial DNA. And these microbes, these microbial bacteria, these microbes weighs 2 to 3 kgs inside the large intestine, which is the same weight as your brain. And they perform 300, and the number of, and there are different varieties of species of bacteria in our gut or in our large intestine, from 300 to 10,000 different species. Imagine up to 10,000 different species of bacteria are there in our gut. So it's a whole ecosystem which is as diverse as an Amazon rainforest. So thousands of species and all have different functions, and our health is heavily dependent on the life and vibrancy of this rainforest. Again, I repeat, our health, all have different functions, and our health is heavily dependent on the life and vibrancy of this rainforest. 60% of a stool is bacteria. 60% of your poop is bacteria, live and dead. So your poop tells a lot. So thousands. And we need this vibrancy. We need different types of the whole ecosystem of these bacteria to actually for us to survive. So the moment we think about bacteria, or we think about, oh, it is bad for our health, but no, not all bacteria are bad for our health. Imagine we have 300 to 10,000 species of bacteria in our gut, and we need that for us to survive, because they are the one who digest the foods, and they are the one who make serotonin and other neurotransmitters in our body. So I'm going to go more detail now. Next slide. So the way our gut is connected with our brain, and that's why it has a direct influence on our moods and emotions, and there's a constant communication going on between our gut and our brain. And they're connected through a nerve called vagus nerve. A vagus nerve is a primary driver for a parasympathetic nervous system. Parasympathetic nervous system is what puts your body into growth and repair. When you're sleeping, you activate your parasympathetic nervous system. When you meditate, you activate your parasympathetic nervous system. When you're doing a breath work, you activate your parasympathetic nervous system. When you're flight and fight mode, when you're a beta brainwave, when you're very active and agile, and when you're in when you're in a flight and fight mode, that is where your sympathetic nervous system is active. But it is the parasympathetic nervous system which restores, balances your body, known for hormonal balance, which puts your body into growth, repair, regeneration, and rejuvenation. So parasympathetic nervous system is so important. And our vagus nerve is the main driver for our parasympathetic nervous system, and it is connected. And this vagus nerve is the largest cranial nerve, which connects our brain, our face, our heart, our lungs, our gut, our bladder, and the sex organs. So this vagus nerve plays such an important role, and it also connects most of the parts of your body, most of the prominent parts of your body, including your gut and the brain. So let me tell you how the brain can affect our gut. So, sometimes when we feel we are in love, or we are anxious, or then we have the butterflies in our stomach. It's a very common terminology. We feel butterflies running in our stomach when we are in love, when we feel extremely excited or joyful. So that means that happens in our gut. So how you feel emotionally, you feel it in your gut. Or when you have a fear or sadness, you feel sick in your stomach. If you go through a lot of times when you have anxiety or attack, you have a stomach pain. You have a strong, intense stomach pain in your stomach. So a lot of these emotions are stored in our gut. And we also know about our chakras, our all our 7 chakras, but that our 3rd chakra is actually in our gut. So and lot of these emotions are stored in that chakra, right? So our emotions is also called Manipur chakra. So our emotions are stored in that chakra, and that's why it is such an important chakra. So the gut. So then, and the gut produces as much. So the gut, when you feel acute stress, which is short term, it can actually suppress our appetite. You remember when you're very stressful, when you're super stressed, when you're feeling acute stress, in the short term, you lose your appetite, right? While if you have a chronic stress, which is long term, it can actually increase your appetite and increase the craving for junk food. If you carry a chronic stress, if you carry a stress for a long time, you tend to become obese. Because when you eat junk food, because when you're in a lower emotional state, you have a craving for a food with a lower emotional vibration. So that's why you eat junk food. And when you eat this junk food, this food is not metabolized by the bacteria in your gut. It is not digested. And then you don't get the right nutrients. And then you crave for more food because you need energy to survive. So you crave for more food and you eat, and again you eat more junk food and more junk food. And that turns into fat, and that's how you're obese. So how the brain can affect your gut. Our emotions has a direct influence on our gut, influence on our food choices. Same way, our gut can also affect our brain, right? So our gut produces as much as 60 to 90% of the neurotransmitters involved in mental wellness. 60 to 90%, including dopamine and serotonin, right? So these both dopamine and serotonin are as a direct influence on our mental wellness. Serotonin stabilizes our mood and the feelings of well-being and happiness. It is for a long term, for a little happiness for a little long term. Your serotonin is so important. You feel well-being and happiness, and dopamine is a pleasure chemical. For an instant pleasure, you eat good food. You are sleeping on a nice bed. You feel instant pleasure. You enter a good house, or you get instant pleasure. You enter a good car, you get that instant pleasure, right? So you wear some good clothes, you get that instant pleasure. That is the dopamine. That is the pleasure chemical which makes you feel good instantly. However, dopamine does not last too long. So again, you need something more, some more dopamine. So that's how this dopamine and serotonin both are produced. 60 to 90% are produced in our gut. And 90% of the serotonin is only produced in our gut. So it is the good bacteria in your gut. It is the good bacteria in your gut that sends signals to the brain via the vagus nerve and hormones to indicate hunger or satiety, which is fullness. So whether you are still hungry or whether you are still full is communicated by the good bacteria through the vagus nerve to our brain. And if we don't have good bacteria in our brain, there's no communication, there's no proper communication. This communication is broken. And that's why our gut bacteria is so important. Otherwise, you'll keep eating and eating, and the brain it does not get the signal that you're full now, and you will still continue to keep eating. So it is so the gut, again I repeat, so it is the gut cell, including it is a good bacteria in your gut that makes serotonin. Even as I told you before, 90% of serotonin is made by the gut. So it is a good it is a good bacteria in a gut that makes serotonin. And if you destroy this bacteria, you won't make serotonin. Low serotonin makes for an unhappy brain. You will be unhappy. So that's why this gut bacteria is so important. The good bacteria is so important. And when we eat, the receptors in the gut causes the release of enzymes to aid digestion. So it is the receptors in the gut causes the release of enzymes to aid digestion. It is the receptors of these bacteria which aid digestion and release the enzymes to aid digestion and and push those enzymes into the bloodstream, right? That is what these bacteria metabolizes your food, turns into enzymes and pushes into the bloodstream.
Shreans,
yeah,
a question here. So
yeah.
It is like if we have healthy food, okay, and then with that healthy food, we create a good amount of serotonin. That is what you mean?
No, here I'm not talking about food right now. I'm focusing on the gut bacteria. If you have a good bacteria, of course, food depends on the food intake you take. But our primary important is we need good bacteria in our gut.
Yeah, but how do we have
healthy food? If you may eat healthy food,
yeah.
But if you have destroyed your gut bacteria, which I'm going to tell you later on,
yeah.
If you have destroyed your gut bacteria from your past food, I'll tell you all that, how you destroy your gut bacteria or how you keep your gut bacteria healthy. Of course, food plays an important role, but there are multiple things, not just food. Food, of course, plays the most important role, but there are other things. Depends on that, whether your gut bacteria thrives or your good bacteria is alive or you have killed the good bacteria.
Yeah, I just want to know how this 90% comes.
I'll tell you. So even though if you eat good food, but if you've destroyed your gut bacteria, if you don't have the backlog of good bacteria, it will still not convert the good food into serotonin, or it will still, because it is not able to metabolize it. That's what is called leaky gut. When you don't have a good bacteria to digest that food, then it is called leaky gut. So even though you're eating good food, but it is not being metabolized.
So the whole idea is how to get this good bacteria in us.
Yes. I'm going to talk.
So that you're going to tell us.
I'm going to cover it in the next slide.
Yes. Thank you.
Yeah. So let's go back to the next slides. So yes, I saw the question also. We are going to see how to generate good bacteria in the gut. I'm going to cover that. Yeah. So we have seen that there's a gut-brain, there's a very deep gut-brain connection. How gut influences our brain, which is through our mood, stress. There's a neurotransmitters, which is serotonin, melatonin. A lot of times our anxiety, our behavior, our mental health depends on our gut. And then how brain to gut, how our brain influences our gut, our mobility, the microbiotic balance, the secretions and nutrient delivery, the influence on inflation, the influence on inflation throughout the body, is again controlled by a brain, and it is conveyed through the gut, and then gut performs according to the message, which is transformed to the vagus nerve, and it influences our mobility, our microbiotic balance, secretions, and nutrient delivery. Again, thoughts and emotions has an influence on our gut, and gut has an influence on our thoughts and emotions. So all these, or on our moods and on the stress levels. So it is so interconnected. Our balanced gut. So our balanced gut defends against illnesses, reduces body inflammation, and positive mood. An imbalanced gut leads to GI disorders, gastrointestinal disorders, or gas, bloating, constipation, eczema, fatigue, anxiety, and moodiness. So all this has a direct correlation with an imbalanced gut. You can go to the next slide. So again, I'll talk about the effect of stress, especially the effect of stress on our brain and on our gut. How stress plays such a crucial role on both the brains, the cranial brain and the gut, the third brain. So when you are stressful, from the gut to brain, there's a neurotransmitter which is production. The neurotransmitter production is inhibited. That is serotonin and dopamine. When you're stressed, you're not able to produce serotonin and dopamine, right? It increases stress and anxiety, impacts mood, behavior, and causes lethargy. That's why when you're stressful, you feel very lazy, right? It also causes a brain fog. So this is the effect of stress from our gut to the brain. Now, from brain to gut, what is the effect of from brain to gut? Because of the stress, what is the effect of from brain to gut? It causes indigestion, heartburn, acid reflux, and increase intestinal permeability, which is increase of pathogens, which leads to increase of bad bacteria. So stress destroys the good bacteria and increase pathogens. Pathogens are bad bacteria. It increases the number of amounts of pathogens, that is bad bacteria. So and because the good bacteria is destroyed, the production of serotonin and dopamine is inhibited. We are not able to produce enough production of serotonin and dopamine, right? And these triggers, because of the stress, it triggers flight, fight, or freeze response. We have an adrenaline rush, So we we are always in a constant state of flight and fight, always in a state of anxiety or fear. Always doing something, unrest. Very restlessness, or sometimes we are frozen. So flight, fight, or freeze. Sometimes when you go through some intense trauma, your body freezes, right? So our brain has a direct impact, and that moment will destroy the good bacteria in our brain, in our gut. And because when you are in stress, you release excess cortisols is released, and these cortisols has a direct influence on our gut. It destroys the good bacteria in our gut. Excess cortisol is released and affects various systems of the body, including our gut. Excess cortisol also in our brain inhibits melatonin. Melatonin is what you release when you go to sleep, which puts your body into growth and repair. And Varun is going to talk tomorrow on neuroscience, on the correlation between cortisols and melatonin in detail tomorrow. So this is the connection between brain and gut, and the when it is connected, the brain and gut is connected through the axis nerves, which is also called the gut-brain axis. And when you are stressed, it puts a stress. The axis, it puts a stress on this nerve, vagus nerve. It is taxed and triggers flight and fight or freeze response. Nice. And if you have a leaky gut, when you destroy this good bacteria, it leads to the leaky gut. That is called the leaky gut, because your food is not being metabolized, it is not being digested by this bacteria. So that's why it is called leaky gut. So what is the influence of leaky gut on our health? So in a mouth and sinus, frequent cold and food sensitivities, you get food allergies, because that food is not being digested by our gut. So that's why they say you have a food allergy, because you can't digest that food. And that is what is called food allergy. That's why everybody has a different food allergies. I may have a different food allergy, you may have a different food allergy, depends on your gut microbiome, depends on your flora or fauna of the gut. Each flora and fauna of the gut microbiomes in a gut is different from each other. So I may have a different allergy, you may have a different allergy, depend on your bacteria. Right? The good bacteria which died in your gut, which were not able to metabolize the food, what you are intaking, so that is your allergy. The bacteria which is not able to digest the food which I am eating, then accordingly I have that allergy. Then leaky gut leads to depression, anxiety, and ADHD. If you are not able to produce enough serotonin, melatonin, when the good bacteria dies, you are not able to produce. It is the good bacteria which produce serotonin and melatonin. So we have both. It's a combination of good bacteria and a bad bacteria in our guts. So good bacteria, it is a good bacteria which produces serotonin and melatonin. And then if it is died, then you feel depression. Lack of serotonin has a direct influence has a direct correlation with depression. You feel anxiety, you feel ADHD, attention deficit disorder. Then it has an impact on your skin, acne, eczema, psoriasis. All these has a direct influence on it has a direct correlation with the gut microbiome. Then our joints, rheumatoid arthritis, fibromyalgia, then headaches. Sometimes a lot of people get constant headaches, then constant fatigue. Little bit you walk, little bit exercise you do, little bit movement you do, you feel fatigue. Then direct influence on our colon. These bacteria are in the colon. So constipation, diarrhea, all this has a direct impact. Leaky gut has a direct influence on all these organs of the body. So that's why they say that all disease, Hippocrates said that all disease begins in the gut. So it is so important. Our gut is so important. So what are the negative things? What are the things which negatively influences your gut health? Rashi, I'm coming back to your question now. What you had asked that time. So let me answer that now. What are the things which negatively influence our gut health?
Yes.
So our animal-based diet influence directly has a direct impact on our gut on our good bacteria. It kills the good bacteria. Animal-based diet. Then drinking too much of alcohol. Overuse of antibiotics. Nowadays, little thing happens and the doctor gives you a strong antibiotic. And because you want instant result. But antibiotics in a milder dose is fine, but a strong use of antibiotics is like a nuclear bomb. You're throwing a nuclear bomb on these microbiomes, and it destroys. It like you're converting the whole Amazon forest into the barren land. It destroys all the good bacteria. So avoid use of antibiotics if possible. Only take it in emergency, and always combine antibiotics with probiotics, with prebiotics, which I'm going to talk about it now. Later on, what are the things which you can do which is beneficial for your gut bacteria? I'm going to talk about it. Let me complete. So what are the negative things that influence our gut health? Animal-based diet, drinking too much of alcohol, overuse of antibiotics, which is like a nuclear bomb, like a nuclear bomb, like destroying your whole microbiomes in your gut, including the good bacteria. And because antibiotics, you want to kill the bad bacteria, antibiotics is given to kill the bad bacteria, but antibiotics cannot choose the bad bacteria. It also kills the good bacteria. The lack of regular exercise. Exercise plays a very important role. Yesterday I had covered, that's why exercise is so important. Smoking, too much stress. I already discussed how stress has an influence on it directly kills your good bacteria. Not getting enough sleep. Sleep is so important, friends. Nowadays, as a society, sleep issue has become such a common issue. Because of the stress, we release cortisol, and because of the cortisol, we are not able to release enough melatonin. And so there's a direct relation between cortisol and melatonin. If more cortisol, less melatonin. More melatonin, less cortisol. So stress directly produces cortisol, which is the stress hormones. And then if more cortisols are produced, less melatonin is produced. And the less melatonin, you don't get sleep. And even so, you keep getting up, and then you are worried and anxiety, and then the lack of sleep, you are killing the good bacteria in a brain. And that's why if you have a good sleep, it has a direct influence on the digestion. If you sleep for 3 hours or 4 hours, you're not able to even digest your food. If you have a good sleep for 7 hours, 8 hours, you are so digested, your food is digested, you're in a good mood, you're fresh. Otherwise, you're not even in a good mood. It has influence on your mood also. Then packaged food. Avoid packaged food. Avoid processed food. This has become such a common trend now, right? Eating packaged food, so much of variety, so much of processed food. You go to any mall, any retail store, it is full of packaged food, and the whole packaging is done so tempting, and they pack it as healthy foods and healthy things, but there's nothing to beat fresh food. There's nothing to beat food cooked by your mother. Our home food is the best food. But the way we see the advertisements, our taste buds have been hijacked by these big food companies. In fact, we have become hostages by these big food companies. The way we see the advertisements, we don't even realize, but we are seeing all these advertisements, and then we buy those food. So that's why there are so many new diseases which is coming up, because until 100 years back, our food was so natural. It was the food which is grown in your village or in your town, and you will always have the seasonal food, fresh food, not the one which has been stored for 8 months and then you are eating now, or which has been in a packaged food or processed food which is transported thousands of miles away and you're eating after 2 months and 3 months. So our packaged food and processed food really harms our gut bacteria, our good bacteria. Then again, another thing which also influences the good bacteria, which is negatively influences the good bacteria in a gut, is a C-section delivery. When you have a C-section delivery, And they say, and as technology is improving, more and more C-section delivery is happening nowadays. In fact, right now, 1 in 3 children in America are born by C-section. Every third child is having a C-section delivery. So that means they don't get the initial coating of bacteria that's been designed by the evolution to be in the mother's birth canal. So when you are born through the mother's birth canal, you immediately get that coating of bacteria. And that coating becomes your gut bacteria. So it is so important. That coating is so important. But when the C-section delivery happens, you don't get that coating which is there in the mother's birth canal. And then and you lose the opportunity as a very child, you lose the opportunity to have a good gut bacteria, good bacteria in a gut. So these bacteria, they are first coated on the skin with other bacteria. In fact, when you have a C-section delivery, they are actually first coated on the skin with the other bacteria in the hospital environment. And we know that a lot of infections come in the hospital environment. So there are so many other bad bacteria in the hospital environment, and that is the coating we get on the skin when there's a C-section delivery. And then now the research has found that 25%, the people who are born with C-section delivery, they have a 25% increased risk of obesity, asthma, immune deficiencies, including autoimmune diseases, immune deficiencies, and inflammatory bowel diseases in later life. As you grow, all these diseases are related with your gut bacteria, which you did not get the moment you were born. Now, let me share you a few things which are beneficial for your gut bacteria. So the most beneficial thing for the child, for the baby, is the mother's milk. And that's why mother's milk is so important for the baby. So that is important. The other thing is prebiotics. So when you eat plant-based foods, you get good bacteria in the brain. Again, Rashri, answer to your question, eat plant-based food like fruits, vegetables, whole foods. So when you eat all that, organic foods. So this is very important to get the good bacteria in your brain. The other thing is also probiotics. Nowadays, probiotics have become very popular, which is amazing. So we should take probiotics. So this is the live bacteria, like you have, which is there in the curd or kombucha, or there are a lot of things, a lot of drinks which are called probiotic drinks, and you can directly feel the impact. If you have probiotic, immediately you will have a better digestion. So you will know. So have prebiotics. So there are prebiotics and probiotics. Prebiotics is plant-based food, vegetables, fruits, whole foods, and probiotics is bacteria like curd, kombucha, and there are so much prebiotics have come. You can do Google research, you can order on Amazon, all these prebiotics. Then a little amount of wine is also good. Wine for your gut bacteria. Wine contains polyphenol, which is again an enzyme which is good for your gut bacteria. So then exercise, meditate, breath work, organic food, fibrous food, eating diverse range of foods. It is good to have diverse range of food because different foods have different bacteria. So if you eat diverse range of foods, you have a more diverse flora and fauna of bacteria in our gut. Then good sleep and timely sleep. Nowadays, we go for parties or for dinner outside. We eat at dinner at 11 o'clock or 12 o'clock. Where in a normal at home, we eat food at 8 o'clock or 8:30. So whatever time, keep that a good time routine. Give a gap between you eat and you go to sleep. There should be at least 4 to 5 hours gap before your last meal and you go to sleep. But nowadays, you go for parties, you go for dinner outside, we eat at 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock. We sleep at 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock. So timely food and timely sleep is also very important. if you don't sleep on time, no matter how many hours you sleep, but if you don't sleep your time, it actually, your sleeping cycle is disturbed, and it has a direct impact on your gut bacteria. And that's why the moment you sleep on in different time zones, you don't feel fresh. Your digestive system is disturbed. So friends, this is all I wanted to cover. And nowadays they're also doing, like, there's a prebiotic, probiotic, they're also doing fecal transplant. Fecal transplant is you take a poop of the person who has a good bacteria, who has a good fauna bacteria in his stomach. You take that poop and transplant that poop into the other person's body who needs the good bacteria, who has a bad bacteria and needs a good bacteria. So now you can, if you have a good bacteria, you can actually sell your poop and make money. So, and in the Western countries, there's so many poop transplants happening, and that is curing so many diseases, including obesities and so many other things which I mentioned before. So thank you, friends. So here my talk, I cover my topic on gut, gut-brain connection, food, gut, and brain connection. I hope you're clear about this. I'll share 2 more slides, last 2 slides. Yesterday, I covered a topic of on DNA. So there are few health supplements which is good for your DNA also. Somebody also covered whether we should have vitamins or not. Is the supplements good? So I believe that supplements are good because the kind of food, the kind of lifestyle we live. As I told you, we go out, we party, we drink, we eat at different time zones, we sleep in different time zones. So, and the food choices we have now, so we eat packaged foods, we eat. So it is good to be honest with ourselves, be authentic, and there's nothing wrong in eating supplements. Even if you want good food, so many times you don't get organic foods. We don't know how the food has been, how much pesticides has been used on the food. And when the pesticides food is used, too much of pesticides, that it also kills the good bacteria in the food. And then you eat that same food. Or if you're using animal-based diet, again, it has an influence on the food. So it is good to substitute it by nutritional supplements. And so few of the supplements which is good for you, directly good for the DNA health, is one supplement which is called NAD+. There's a lot of research done. It is very come out very latest. You can buy it on Amazon, and there are so many companies which are making NAD+. So buy the one which is made which is herbal NAD+. So it releases NAD+. It leads to chromosome stability, DNA repair, immune cell signaling, energy enzyme activity, longer telomeres. As I explained yesterday, telomeres direct has an impact on your longevity. Neurotransmitters like serotonin, melatonin, longevity mechanisms, and energy production, your vitality, ATP, which is the energy of your cells, which I told you that 0.07 volts of energy. So it increases ATP in your cells. So which has a lot of multiple benefits, NAD+. Personally, I don't take it, but it's a choice. If you want, you can take it. I mean, I'm not against nutritional supplements. Then the next slide I'm going to share is this is a very general nutrient supplements which is good for human body. However, if you decide to take it, you may consult your nutritionist or your doctor, depending on your body, how much quantity you need. And these nutrition, you don't need to take it as a nutrition supplement. You also can directly get from your food or from the sunlight. So, but if you don't get it, like the lifestyle we live, we don't get enough sunlight, we don't exercise enough. So sometimes these supplements are good, like vitamin B12. These are the quantities: folate, vitamin C, vitamin E, zinc, magnesium, and as I told you about NAD+, which is nicotinamide adenine, anyway, whatever technical name. So NAD+, and this is the dosage. So I'm going to share all these slides I'm sharing all this. I'm going to share all these slides on our website. So every day, whatever presentations I'm making, depending on that topic, I'm going to share the slides on the website. So you can go to the website, and by tomorrow, all the slides will be uploaded for all the presentations, along with the slides will be uploaded on the website. So you can always go to the website. You can take the pictures from the slide and keep it for your reference, right? As and when you need it. So I'll end the session today, friends. So Hippocrates said, if you could give every individual the right amount of nourishment and exercise, not too little and not too much, we would have found the safest way to health. Thank you, friends. Thank you for your time. Thank you for the gift of your attention. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Yeah. Thank you, Shreans, for a wonderful, wonderful session. And you have given us a lot of information, which is very important in our day-to-day life. What supplements, what food, how it affects our whole gut, and how the gut is related to our brain and our mood swings and our health. So thank you so much. It was superb. And I have two questions. One is about milk and any other alternative for wine.
So again, milk is again depends on your gut bacteria.
Yeah.
A lot of people, a lot of time we tell the children to have milk. Right. You should have milk. We should have milk because it has good calcium, which is good. But a lot of time the children feel heavy. They reject milk. So that means that it is not good for them. So in terms of nutrition, if you check it, they have good calcium, they have a lot of nutrients, but it may not be good for your gut bacteria, for that child's gut bacteria. So just see so it is again, the food choices depends person to person. So see what food is going well with that person. And earlier days, they had no choice of other than the animal-based milk, the cow's milk But nowadays we have almond milk, you have oat milk, we have soya milk. So we have multiple choices. So we can move to a better, healthier choices depending on how the milk is suiting your system. Sometimes the milk you feel very heavy with milk because because your gut bacteria is not able to metabolize that milk. It's heavy on your bacteria. So depending on you can make the choice. Even wine. So wine does not mean, even though it has that chemical, that does not necessarily mean that. So like for me, wine does not suit me. My wife, she loves wine. And it suits her. So again, wine depends on everyone. So but again, wine, when you talk about wine, it is in moderate quantity.
Yes.
Not in excess quantity, because the other chemical in the wine which harms you. So again in moderation. Yeah.
Yes. Okay. Because there's a lot of, it's in fashion today that especially milk, they just don't want to drink milk, or they don't, all doctors, everybody, Yes.
Also, because nowadays the way the milks are produced, to produce more milk, these cows are being injected with antibiotics. They are injected with so that in the minimum time they can produce maximum milk. These cows are not allowed to move much because a lot of energy will go in a lot of the food energy intake we take will go in cow grazing or anything. So they are given the food which is also processed food. So the cow itself takes processed food so that they produces more milk. Yes. It's not about the quality of milk, it is about quantity of milk. And they're given so much of antibiotics because they don't want the cow to feel sick. If the cows fall sick, then that much time they lose in production of milk. So they give milk. The environment which the cows are being reared, they go to different emotions. They go to different frustration, anger, fear, So that has an influence. So that emotions are carried in your milk. So also that's why there's something called happy milk.
Hmm.
Where the cow is grown in a, so I am for happy milk. If the cow is grown in a natural environment, in farms, where they can roam around, they're eating natural grass, natural diet, and not given any antibiotics, and it may give limited quantity of milk, but that is the quality milk. And if you have that milk, then that is good for your health.
So all this A2 milk and all are, I don't know. We have a lot of A2 milk.
I don't know what is A2 milk.
Okay. And one more last question.
I'm also not a nutritionist, so my knowledge is limited. I'm very much covering only from the energy or that perspective.
Yes.
To go into very specific things of this thing, that thing, honestly, I may not be able to answer.
I have Patriji has lots said about garlic, that you should not have garlic. Can I have a, please.
So garlic, yes. So garlic again has, it kills your microbiomes.
Yes.
Garlic is very strong. So it kills your bad bacteria.
Yeah.
But it also kills your good bacteria.
Okay.
Right? Garlic as a medicine is good. So if you're going through that issue, some issue as a temporary, as a medicine is good. But if you do garlic every day, then it is not good. Not as a daily diet. For a medicinal use, garlic is great. So suppose you have in your heart, if there's a what do you call in the lining in your heart is calcified.
Yeah.
You know, then as a medicine, if you have garlic, then it decalcifies the lining in your heart.
Okay.
Right? Because garlic is so strong.
Yeah.
It burns that calcification. And so as a medicine, but if you have more garlic, not only it will burn the calcification, now it will burn the whole lining itself, your whole, that which is your body part. So then it is harmful. So as a medicine is good. So it is not necessarily what is good as a medicine is good for your daily diet. So if sometimes when if you have fever, you take crocin as a medicine, right? And that time it is good.
Yes.
It brings your fever down, and then you feel better and you recover faster. But in your daily diet, if you have crocin, it is not good.
Yes.
So garlic is just that. It is a medicine. In fact, there's a lot of research done on garlic. You might be in the World War II. In the World War II, garlic was used on. They'll put garlic oil on the bullet. They'll put garlic oil on the bullet and they'll shoot that bullet. And the moment the bullet hits the person dies instantly. So the garlic oil, if it is put in the blood directly, if you're bleeding and you put the garlic oil on it, the person will die. It is so poisonous. So imagine the influence, and if so as a medicine it is fine, but not as a daily diet.
Okay. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Also, in terms of, and that's why it is called tamasic food. Garlic is called tamasic food. There's something called, in Indian tradition, we have something called sattvic food, fruits, vegetables, whole foods, sattvic food, then something called rajasic food, and there's something called tamasic food. So garlic is tamasic food. You know, so that's why when you eat a lot of garlic, you are more aggressive. You become short-tempered. You become a small trigger and you'll feel angry. You know, or small trigger you become upset. You become it will disturb you. So garlic has those properties. Both onion and garlic. More than onion, garlic.
Garlic. Yes. And we should avoid coffee also, mushroom coffee.
Yes. You should, I think you should avoid mushroom. Mushroom is supposed to, it's a dead food. It is not doing any good to your body. Right? Again, coffee, again, in moderation is fine. In excess, again, is not good. Yeah. Because also caffeine is addictive, right?
Yes. Yes.
One cup of coffee is fine, but but as long as you keep that in moderation. But if you have because it is being addictive, then if you have 1 cup, then you want 2 cups, then you want 3 cups, then you want more dose of caffeine. But if you can keep that moderation, it's fine. But as long as you don't overindulge in coffee, then that's why you feel acidity. Because again, it kills the good bacteria and feeds the bad bacteria. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you so much. So here we move on to our Q&As. Halim ji, can you please unmute? Ranju. Yeah, Halim ji. Yes, can you, yeah.
Yeah, hi. So, hi, Shreya. Hi, this was very good information. I really love it. And the information you give, it's wow, it's lot, it's lot, we can say.
Where are you from and what do you please?
So actually, I'm from Hyderabad and I am a software engineer. Okay, so I'm an IT professional. So my question and what my sayings is that you are giving a lot of information. I missed many videos, some of the classes because I have contributed to other classes. I was joined the Sattvic movement earlier. I am eating a rich water-based food. I changed my lifestyle. I lose my weight. I did a lot in last 1 month. It's a lot. So I was a non-vegetarian earlier. Used to have 5 weeks, daily 5 times a week non-veg. Now I moved to all rich-based foods. I changed my whole life in Sattvic this thing. So Sattvic way of style. So this is one of the life-changing point for me. I'm feeling more better now. Okay, and the thing is actually one of my kid is autistic. Okay, so when I learned this regarding the gut and the brain. So I always observe my kid, right? Whenever I have medicines, like whenever she is coughing or sneezing, we give some medicines, right? It will adversely affect even the milk which we give. We can see the difference in the next few days, because these artistic chills, right? What happens when we give any kind of food which is not digested, she totally reacts. So
yes.
Yes.
So I agree. Autism has a direct impact on your gut. The reason for autism could be your gut bacteria, and a lot of now autism is being healed by taking care of your gut bacteria.
Yeah.
So there's a test which can be done for your gut bacteria. They do it as a stool test. So you can test your bacteria and then decide which food is good for you. There's a company called Viome, which is doing a foremost research in the field of gut bacteria, and you can Google on it. They do the test, and then they suggest you what diet you should take, which is good for your gut bacteria. So autism is now a lot of places, autism in Western countries now, autism is being treated by improving your gut bacteria.
Okay, so any information that we have for autism that you can share in later part of offline? No,
this is all I know. I mean, I just know broadly. I mean, I'm not a doctor. I'm not a scientist. So not that I've gone to detail into it, but I know these are things broadly. So this is just a clue, and now you can find it out. And with Google now, everything is available. If you find gut bacteria, just Google gut bacteria and autism. You'll have so much information available now.
So another thing you said about the curd, right? The curd actually, it's again a dairy product. So actually, whatever doctor says the GFCF diet, we follow the gluten-free and season-free diet for my kid. Okay, so whenever she has milk, she behaves differently, or any chocolate or sweet, anything. Sweet is no sweet at all. So sweet is no more. And when we give the sweet or any other thing such like processed food, anything, right, she reacts differently. So I see the difference. I'll see the live difference for how the gut and the brain happens. So because of my kid. So my question is whether the curd is good.
Curd is probiotic. Curd has live bacteria in it.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of times so when you eat that, and which is a good bacteria. So this activates more of the good bacteria in your stomach. And that's why curd is good for your bacteria. But again, it is very person to person. Some people feel heaviness with the curd. So again, you are your best judge. What information I'm giving you is a very generalized information.
Yeah, understood.
Yeah.
And what about curd in the processed and non-processed, right? We get packetized curd outside Delhi, right? So it's no.
I really don't have done a lot of research.
Okay.
I know much. You can Google and find it out yourself. Yeah.
Thank you very much, sir. You're wonderful. Yeah.
Thank you.
Love it. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Smita ji, go ahead, please.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
My name is Smita और मैं बम्बई में रहती हूँ. I can't speak properly in English, so I'll speak in Hindi only.
कोई बात नहीं.
मैंने कभी भी meditation किया नहीं है. First time I have attended your session, but मुझे उसमें भी बहुत problem आ रही है. My mind is full of thoughts. I don't know. I can't concentrate. मुझे मैं concentrate नहीं कर रही हूँ. आप जो heart coherence की बात कर रहे थे, वो भी मुझसे नहीं हो रहा है. And the third thing that I can't express my feeling. मुझे रोना है, लेकिन मेरी आंख से आंसू भी नहीं आ रहे. कितने 10-20 seconds तक, फिर बाद में 1-2 आंसू निकलते हैं. ठीक है, मुझे अंदर से बहुत रोना हो रहा है, लेकिन नहीं हो रहा है. और फूड के बारे में मैं पूछना चाहती हूँ कि वेगन होना अच्छा है क्या? And the other thing is that my grandson is very fond of sweet tooth. He likes sweets very much. No doubt his memory is so sharp. He is okay with everything. He is 8 months born. But I don't know what to do.
So veganism is good. Of course, it's good. Personally, I'm not a vegan. Varun is a vegan, but I don't have milk. But so I don't have milk as such. I have almond milk and or soya milk. But sometimes I have cheese in pizza or pasta or whatever. So or in a dessert, if it's a milk-based dessert, I eat it. But Varun is the absolute vegan. So again, but I feel veganism is good. But again, depends on you. You see what works on your body and how it is helping you. Second thing you asked about the sweet. Eating sweet is also a lot to do with your gut bacteria. So you can always get your gut bacteria checked. Sometimes bad bacteria needs a lot of sweet. Personally, I am also I have a sweet tooth. So I love eating sweets. I always have to control my temptation for sweets. But of course, again, it has a lot to do with our gut bacteria. Yeah.
What about my meditation?
आपका जो meditation नहीं हो रहा है, just practice. There's no substitute to practice. That's why this course is for 28 days, so that by the end of 28 days you've experienced a transformation. And it's like any other instrument. First time, if you're playing violin, you will not be able to play it. So first time you're doing meditation, first time in years you're trying to quiet your mind, obviously it will take time. So don't worry, just do it. It's a time tested process. It will work. It's just a matter of time. So just give it some time. Process. Yeah.
I'm 65-year-old.
Age doesn't matter. Whether it is you're 25 or 65, doesn't matter. Okay. Yeah.
Okay, sir. Thank you very much.
It is our mental conditioning. I am 65, so how can I? No, it doesn't really matter. Yeah. Thank you.
But what about heart coherence, sir?
Everything will happen. Just the fact that you're coming every day and doing it is a reason that's reason enough that you are meant to be here. So don't worry, it will all happen now.
यानी जब हम करते हैं तभी हमें हार्ट को देखना है, हम हार्ट को देख सकते हैं.
Physically नहीं देखना है. Just अपना mental. It's not about physical watching it. It's about it's not even heart. Actually, it's your heart center. It's your heart chakra. So it is putting your attention over your heart chakra in your heart center. So you don't have to see it physically. The idea is to keep your eyes closed. Yeah.
Okay, sir. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Sunil ji, Ghosh.
Namaste.
Yeah, please go ahead.
I cannot flow English, but Hindi language.
हिंदी में बोलिए, हिंदी में बोलिए.
चलेगा हिंदी में बोलिए.
Okay. Thank you. तो हमारा एक प्रश्न है.
जी.
हमारा एक प्रश्न है. जो हमको इंडिया में देश गौ माता बोलता है, तो उसको दूध जो हम लोग पीता है, तो उसको सुइटेबल है कि नहीं गट के लिए, जो बोला है आज आप लोग अच्छा से पीते हैं, बच्चा लोग को पिलाता है, तो उसकी सुइटेबल है कि नहीं, हम
So मैंने आपको बोला happy cow milk is good if the cows are not reared formally, is not reared properly. So depend on the source of milk. From where are you getting the milk? So that is important. And in spite of a happy cow milk, every child is different. Still, the milk may not suit your child. So you have to see how the child is responding. Ask the child rather than forcing the child to have milk. See how the child is reaction. What is the child feels after having milk. Ask him. Observe him for a week with milk, without milk, or less milk, more milk, whatever, and then you'll know what is suitable for the child.
मिल्क का बहुत प्रोडक्ट होता है, स्वीट होता है, दही होता है, सब अगर दूध शॉप में दुकान में मिलता है तो वो लोग खाने कैसे एलिजिबल है क्या?
Again, I mean, all that you can. I mean, I'm giving you. I can't go too much detail about, because again, I told you I'm not a nutritionist. Yeah. Okay. So yeah, you can make your own choice based on the information I've given you. You can make your own choice now.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you, Sunil ji. Ranju ji, please go ahead.
Hello, Shreans ji. I am from New Jersey, and I'm IT analyst. Thank you so much for doing this. I just recently started to do your meditation back in December. I have been practicing to sit since COVID started in 2020. And I was able to sit for 15 minutes, but only with your meditations, I actually want to sit, which is really awesome. So thank you so much for that. My question is that, and today's topic was actually pretty relevant because 10 days ago, I turned to vegan. I never ate meat. Last year, I gave up eggs and wine, and today you said that it is good for you. But and then about 10 days ago, just because of a documentary I watched, not the one you showed, but something else, something called Earthlings, which kind of convinced me to do that. My question is not food related. I am pretty good in eating. I exercise. I am into yoga and all that. My mornings are pretty good. I do my meditation. I'll do my yoga. I'll take my furry friend for a walk, and all those great people you showed in your slide. Those are my daily companions, and I'll listen. And morning is like, okay, I can conquer the world. But what happens is that as I go through the afternoon or towards the evening, I feel very anxious. And I don't know what that is. If the days are busy with the work, you don't notice, but somehow, within, I don't feel comfortable, and your mind has a way to tell you that. I know my purpose, but that purpose seems so big, and that, I know it's service, but service is and I do whatever I can, but somehow in my heart, that feels that, no, I am not doing enough, and I'll end up doing stuff which is not relevant. And the worst part is that I am aware that I should not be doing this, right? So that's if I didn't know it, I'm doing it. Okay, I'm scrolling down the Facebook and whatever. And it's not even Facebook, some irrelevant stuff, which I know that it is irrelevant. And I just can you give me, and I know I know there are so many people waiting, and I'm very conscious of that fact. But something to keep me going through that whole day, right? Something in between, something short, right? Which I don't go down that rabbit hole, and then somehow I feel positive.
Lovely. So you have a very, very, very good question, and I want to answer for everyone. So when you find your true path, when you're in meditation, in a good diet, in a good exercise, everything basically, whatever it needs to do, good books, whatever, when you find a true path, it is your soul's urge we all have come for a purpose, and it is soul's urge to find your purpose and to act on that purpose. So as you said, your purpose is to give or to serve, to service in whichever way you want to serve. And when that happens, and when you're not going in the direction of your service, in the direction of your purpose, you feel restlessness, you feel anxiety, you feel anxious. And that anxiety is only an indicator that follow your purpose, follow your path. When I don't teach meditation, or when I don't practice meditation, or if I don't learn this more knowledge and get more knowledge, I start feeling restlessness. So that's why a lot of people say, why are you teaching it and why are you doing it free? I am finding that this is my purpose. It gives me joy, gives me satisfaction. If I don't do it, I feel restless. I don't sleep in a content. I feel ki I have not completed my day. Yeah. I feel I've not connected. I've not fed my soul. I've not fed my lived my life from my consciousness and what I've driven to. And satisfaction comes from one thing and one thing only. When you're meeting your desires, which is in alignment with your inner being. So and that's why manifestation is also important, because we are born as a creators, and we all have desires, but satisfaction comes when we are meeting our desires, which is in alignment with our inner being, which is connected to our innate intelligence. And once you do that, then you feel satisfied, you feel content, you feel joyful, you are happy. And especially when you have a bigger purpose, when you have a higher purpose, and we all have that higher purpose. And when you protect your purpose will protect you. So, and then that's how, so you are driven for a cause. You are made for a cause. But when you are doing that, so my suggestion is, if you do that, if you act on that, you will find satisfaction. So just act on if you are driven to do some service, then do that, and then you'll find satisfaction, and your anxiety will go away.
Mm-hmm. But that's like I run charity events, but what happens is like, and I know that I am the happiest at that time, and that's how I am when I know that that's my purpose. But it's like not enough. It's not enough. And that kind of keeps me and I have not, like, I haven't had a good night's sleep in years altogether. And hopefully your sleep class will help. But yeah, I know you don't have all the answers, but thank you for that information. Really,
and also do breath work more often, maybe twice a week or thrice a week. Maybe that will help you.
Yeah. Thank you so much. Really appreciate it.
Thanks.
You. Yes, thank you, Ranjuji. SK Taneja.
We'll take the last question, Rashi.
Yeah. Actually, I'm just searching on the panel list. I don't have it. Yeah. Please go ahead.
Hello.
Yeah.
Are you listening?
Yes, I can hear you, sir.
See, my question is very short. That I am attending these classes in the evening. So morning and evening are similar or a different?
Same, exactly same, absolutely same.
Exactly same. Yeah. Okay, thank you.
Of course, the questions are different and the answers are different, but rest everything is same. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
Shreans, one sharing, if you don't mind.
Yes, please. Yeah.
Varshina ji Giroti. Can you please unmute? Yeah, please go ahead.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Shreans. Every day it's a blessing to attend your sessions. And I want to ask you a question that when you take us, when we do the meditation, and when you tell us that now you focus on your heart and start breathing from your heart. I am not able to understand what do you mean by breathe from the heart, because every time I do my meditation or I go into a meditation, it comes to my third eye chakra, and I start visualizing, or I start going into that thing deeper. But when you tell us to switch on to the heart chakra, I am not able to do it very smoothly, though I do my meditations, I do my Reiki and all, but switching in your meditation from the breathing to the heart chakra, that is a little confusing to me. How do I do that?
Yeah. So, it is not something which you really have to, it is not, this is not something which you have to make a lot of effort to do it. The idea is to do it very effortlessly. And what I'm telling, what my intention is, when I tell you breathe from your heart, the moment you put your attention on your heart, naturally, and you're just naturally breathing, naturally you are breathing from your heart. The moment you put your attention to your heart, wherever your attention goes, your energy flows.
Okay.
And with your attention, you are breathing from the heart. It's not something physically you have to focus and you have to make an effort to, oh, my breathing is from the, no, just put your attention in your heart and breathe naturally. And flow, your breath will find its own rhythm to breathe from the heart. So
you mean I should take my attention to the heart chakra?
That's it. Simple. Yeah.
Means we should visualize that, like we visualize in Reiki, that heart chakra is green in color. So we should start visualizing that, you mean?
No colors.
Okay.
Right. So just visualize that. Just visualize that just put your attention on your heart. In your mind's eye, you're focusing on your heart and breathing from that heart. Feel the feelings, and it is not about physical heart. It is about the heart center. So feel the feelings of your heart from the heart center. What are your feelings? Focus on your feelings and breathe and naturally breathe. That's it.
Okay. And like when you explained to us about the food we intake and the gut improvement and all these things, the video which you showed today was really horrifying in the initial video, which shows the killing of animals and all. But tell me one thing, that even the eggs which we eat is not correct to eat?
So eggs, there are two types of eggs. One is layer eggs, one is broiler eggs. The layer egg, which cannot be fertilized. So there you're not killing anyone. The broiler egg, which eventually turns into a chicken, and the eggs which comes in the market is the layer egg.
Okay.
So by egg itself, there's no problem. What is the problem is the way these chickens are being farmed.
Yeah.
Right? And the way the normal life of a chick is actually 7 to 10 years. And we keep this chick in 42 days.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
And as science is evolving, we are injecting more and more fat tissues and antibiotics so earlier the cycle was 66 days. Now with time it is reduced to 40 days now. So we are reducing the lifespan of the chick and growing it and killing it within that time. So and for the eggs also, the moment the chick stops laying eggs, they are burnt alive. The moment the chicks are not allowed to move much, because if they eat food and they move much, then you have to feed more. A lot of energy is wasted in the movement. So you have to feed more food to the chick. So and they give a lot of antibiotics for more egg production. So all those things are there. So that has an impact on your. So from that perspective, egg is not good. But from the perspective of whether you are killing an animal, when you're eating an egg, you're not killing an animal. You're not killing a life.
But I'm sharing a thing that my son, he was not even eating egg, he was not even eating chickens, and suddenly deficiency was developed that his B12 became so low, lower than 50 also, which was very unhealthy for him, and he had to be admitted to the hospital. And the doctor said that because he has not been eating non-veg, his B12 has gone down, and he was forced to start with eating chicken and all. So now when it is medically you are being forced to eat, then what is the choice left to us?
The choice is you eat, so it's your choice. So B12, there are a lot of other options for B12. And medically, if you talk about it, the elephant, which is the strongest animal on earth, is a vegetarian. So
Yeah. No,
rhinoceros is a vegetarian. So one of the most strongest fighters, the boxing fighters, Arnold Schwarzenegger is a vegetarian, and he was a vegetarian all through his life, being in a Western country. So what do you talk about that?
Yeah, I agree.
Somebody wrote moringa powder for B12. Yes, moringa powder is very good for B12. So there are various nutritional. So that's why I'm saying take nutritional supplement. And then completely alternative diet, you can continue with your vegetarian diet and add it with the nutritional supplement, which will help you for D3, B12, all that, vitamin B.
Yeah, that we are doing. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Shreyans, there's one Selva ji, she's been telling since a long time. Should I take her?
Yeah. I mean, you are the boss, so we'll take the last question then. Yeah.
Because they're right. Selva ji, please. I don't know now. Where are you?
How do you spell
SELVA?
SEL. Okay.
Yeah. No, she was here. I don't know. ठीक है और yeah. I'll take her tomorrow if I see her. Yeah. Okay, so a fantastic and a very, very important, I think the most important for all of us to have this wonderful information from you, all the clips, I mean, about the animals and whatever other clips, whatever you showed about our system, and that was great. And the video where you were with Abraham Hicks, that also, I mean, it was really a very informative and very profound session. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Rashmi.
A healthy outside starts. Thank you.
Go ahead.
Yeah, a healthy A healthy outside starts from the inside. The best and the most efficient pharmacy is within your system, and food are the building block of your life. How can you expect your body to last a long and enjoyable lifetime if you don't put the proper building blocks in there? So take care of your body as its only place you have to live in. And thank you so much to you for showing us a very right way to get to our healthy body, healthy mind, and healthy soul. So just breathe, and breathe. Thank you so much. Thank you all the participants and all my friends, community, to be here early morning, evening, afternoon, wherever you are. Lot of blessings. And thank you so much for being there. Loads of gratitude, and loads of gratitude to our Master Shreans Daga. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Rashmi, and thank you to all my divine friends.